And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. And the title of the video is Getting Ready for Liftoff. Remember, please subscribe and squeeze that notification bell and tickle that little bell like for me. You'd be doing me a massive favor. And also remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this is financial advice. Remembering none of the information provided in this video should ever be taken as a sign to buy or sell. But first and foremost, we look at Arkham Intelligence for our data. And as we can see, we are at $125. Big lift off from yesterday. Hopefully we can hold this level here and see some bigger rises. We are up 7.2% in the last 24 hours, down 2% in the last 7 days, but still up 10% in the last 30 days. And the 24-hour volume almost doubled from yesterday at $42 million, and it is looking good. Now, we've seen some big buys, but we'll talk about those in a moment. And as you can see here, the exchange reserves has actually gone down from yesterday at 1.385. So we're ranging constantly over the last couple of weeks, and net flow is actually looking good. So net deposits and exchanges are low compared to the last 7-day average, which is also good. And we're still sitting around this neutral area for the RSI, which is also a little bit in fear. So in the middle there. And then we see this from Sebastian. Some lovely updates here. We've got just over 151,000 holders and we're sitting nicely there. And Quant is trading above that 120, which looks good for a retest as support. The MACD is also reversing. ETH is having a nice run on the upside and Quant paint and improve this week, which is absolutely great. And a big milestone for Quant, because obviously longevity is until 2040. And when you see a project patenting their tools, it does show an element of longevity for the future. Really, really great stuff by the Quant Network team. And Quant has shot past that 120 and looks to flip this into support. And as you can see, this looks to be an easier process than $100 to $105. Maybe we'll have a third test before we shoot up. Also be aware of the upward sloping trend line, which supported the price since 19th of October 2023. Another bullish indicator is a MACD, again, which is reversing. ETH is having a nice run, which can signal the beginning stages of the alt season. And I did see somewhere Miles Bron suggesting that we are likely to see very soon a $3,500 quant. So all in all, looking absolutely great. Now, last night I saw this, a big text of the good stuff, quant, as predicted, a text of 1,783 quant, 222 grand after the ETFs were approved. Now, we're just waiting on what will happen today when trading starts. Are we going to see a move up? Going to see alts continue their rise? So this was a total wallet size of 25,000 plus quant. So currently sitting at a value of 3.2 million and growing. Continuous text over the last 2 weeks have seen, as you can see below, and we can see the spike here over the last 2 weeks. What are they waiting for? And the thing is, and some say quant is a bleep coin. I get a lot of childlike comments from people on YT saying it's absolutely rubbish, but you know, I'm here for the long term. I see the value in quant, and I'm sure many of you do. It's got to have, you've got to have that foresight. You've got to look through all the rubbish, the noise that you read. I tend to try and not read stuff that is very negative because these people don't see what you see, but that's okay. They're allowed to do what they want to do, but we will keep focused. I know I keep focused. I saw this large transaction this morning from Kraken to private wallet straight into Wintermute. Now I've seen loads of transactions moving into Wintermute, and the actual number was 5,350 quant, which is a value of $661,000. Absolutely huge. Now, we're not sure what's going on with Wintermute. We know they're a market maker. We know they have storage wallets for institutes and everything else. So it's just a matter of waiting. Are we on the precipice of liftoff? We just have to wait and see. And as you can see, there's a thread there that I've used for clarity. Wintermute, again, is one of the few crypto market makers on the FCA Crypto Assets Register in the UK. And there's loads of transactions flowing into Wintermute. What's actually happening, we'll have to wait and see again. Now, I see this great tweet from Crypto Q. The following is a personal A to Z on quant, a thread which is providing you a simplified understanding of this masterpiece. And I thought it was great because he's put everything down in a chronological order using the alphabet. So he's got A for agnostic, Quant is using an agnostic approach, which means any to any network interaction can be achieved with 3 lines of code. How simple is that? So B for blockchain. Quant is an operating system, not a blockchain. Then we go to C for CBDC, central bank digital currencies. And now that's no longer just a vision, as we can see many governments starting to look into CBDCs. Then we've got D for developers. With its solutions, product simplifies the effort required by developers when establishing new apps if considered to be running on various systems. Then we got E for Ethereum. Well, runs on Ethereum, but is in fact not required to do so. Like a lot of people always say, why does it run on Ethereum? It can run on anything. And there's been lots of speculation with regards to HBAR because Gilbert has talked about HBAR in the past. And F was founded in 2015, and we're slowly growing from then until now. And then G is for Gilbert. Gilbert Verdian is Quant's founder. If you have a close look at his CV, you will understand the connections and expertise. And his CV is very fast. And you can see his work for the Treasury, his work for the government, basically connected to so many large institutions. It's unbelievable. And if you wanted a leader for your project, you'd want Gilbert Verdian. And we've got H for health sector. Considering being a hospital and using various software and databases to run your business sounds ineffectively, yes, Quant would indeed support with its simple coding to have these connected. We have I for investing. Tokenomics such as the low amount of coins in circulation, less than BTC, plus the fact that there will be no further coins minting makes it an interesting investment opportunity. And he says, do your research. Absolutely. Tokenomics are absolutely brilliant with regards to Quant. J for joining. What if Quant can further expand their business and one day would be linked to Meta, e.g. the metaverse where Quant would act as a service provider to achieve payments legacy system. Now, there's been much talk with regards to Twitter and whether or not Gilbert has made a play for Twitter through Elon Musk, because there is a tweet that I circulated the other day that's been around for donkeys, which actually asking Elon whether or not he's considered working with Quant with regards to Tesla. So we'll have to wait and see. And then there's K for KLM. If we use the airline as an example, import and export, cargo handling, passenger details, seat allocation, in principle, Quant could be involved one day to link information data where needed. Then we've got L for location, headquarters in London, but also based in Canton Zug, which is in Switzerland. Then we've got M for MDApps, multi-distributed ledger technology applications. The multi separates Quant from others. And N for NDAs. When working with business clients, governments, so-called non-disclosure agreements are in place to protect confidential aspects of the business model. And we hear a lot about the NDAs, non-disclosure, because there would be loads. Because remember, Quant is a white label product, so people can use it and not disclose. And then we see O for Overledger. Overledger is the first blockchain agnostic API gateway. It enables interoperability between blockchains and legacy systems. Then we have P for patented. Quant has patented their Overledger solution, which in fact is one of the reasons they already have onboarded huge clients such as Oracle, Nexi, and LackChain. And as we know, just recently this week, the patent came through. And then we've got Q for quality. Quality of research investigation done by Quant on Twitter community is not comparable to this ridiculous when hype thing. And he's absolutely right. All the information is absolutely amazing, and hence has helped many of my videos, just like this informational here. And then we've got R for retail. Retail investors such as you and I are not audience for Quant. Focus is on business and government. And a lot of people talk about that when they say Quant is not for us, it's for the institutions. And he's quite right. Hence, well, we don't see a huge amount of interaction from the team on Twitter. And then S for scope of work. In simple words, technology used by Quant has nearly endless potential and markets to consider. T is for team, a very experienced team previously involved in various sectors around the globe and are tied up to bring Quant's vision on top as one of the most important digital assets. U is for updates. Believe it or not, even in a bear market environment, Quant is publishing Overledger updates around every 2 weeks. So this was back in 2022. And then we see V for vision. Unlock the power of blockchain for everyone by delivering interoperable ecosystems and real world solutions that simply work. And we're seeing this more and more now as interoperability becomes the key word within tokenization. And then we see W for what's next. Quant token reached its all-time high of $427 during September 2021, with CBDC integrations, and more customer onboarding, utility aspects with potentially drive token price due to the license fees paid in fiat, converted, locked in quant. And then he finishes it off with XYZ for XYZ. Even I tried to capture a broad information of quant, still has way more to offer. Take your time and further elaborate. You won't regret it. Appreciate your time. Hope we could provide you with some positive inputs. And this is absolutely great tweet for those who are new to quant or those that just wanted to refresh their mind on what's actually going on. So brilliant tweet from QRQ. And now I put this out the other day because I thought it was quite important. I'm seeing a lot of people giving up on quant, and I'll give you a handful of reasons why I hold quant. Firstly, they're setting the standards with TC307, which is so important because I think everything starts with standards and then we build upon those standards. And then there's the tech, Overledger, and the institutional tools. Now, Overledger interoperability, as I said, is key to growth and bringing in the legacy, the blockchain world. And this has to happen. It's imperative. And then we look at partnerships, Bank of International Settlements, the Bank of England, Oracle, LackChain, loads there to pick apart. And we've seen this through many threads on Twitter, on X, and then the best CEO and team in the business. Now, Gilbert Verdian is by far the best CEO, the most professional, has massive links within the real world, not just within fintech, but also within big institutions. And then future adoption. Future adoption, what we're seeing now is growth, but we're not actually seeing the real value because I believe personally, and this is not financial advice, it's so undervalued. And I've asked people, why do you hold quant? And that's a good question for you guys to put in the comments. Why do you hold quant? Probably for the same reasons I do. Probably for tokenomics, everything else. But put down your reasons, please. And then we see this from Construction Trader ETH. I love the fact that Construction Trader ETH puts out some absolutely banging tweets, and I've used a lot of them during my videos. And here we can listen to Peter Hazou, Director of Business Development at Microsoft, talk about the keyword interoperability. Everything that's described here, Quant Overledger solves seamlessly. So let's have a listen.
How can it be best applied?
I think that's the bit. I think what we, when Peter was talking there, is how we knit together the various technologies, because we talk about the trade ecosystem, and it's super wide in terms of you've got three flows essentially associated with the trade ecosystem. You've got the physical movement of goods, you've got the documentary flow, and then you've got the financial flows as well. Yeah. And it's how you knit all three of those components together. I mean, what I discussed there was documentary trade, but essentially in supply chain finance as well. There's a number of different, let's call them ecosystem providers, now spanning, participation, document compliance checking, ownership, the list goes on. And what the technology gives us is the ability to bring those together. And I'm going to use the I word again, interoperability is a key challenge that we have to face into between all of those systems.
And actually, if I could, building on Ian's point exactly, look, I mean, trade finance has been traditionally a banking process, but actually the broader supply chain, banks do supply chain finance, but it's really, the technology is going to permit really the interoperability between all of the players, logistical companies, manufacturers, retailers. It's really a cross-industry issue because supply chain is a global cross-industry issue. And so that's, I think, a lot of where the benefit will come. Shouldn't be looked upon just as a bank, trade finance, paper processing business. It's much broader. And that's very relevant to clients as well.
Yeah.
So define for me then, please, what do you mean by the trade finance stack?
Okay, so we term trade finance stack as thinking about it, a lot of the topics we've talked about today, right? So from an infrastructure level, so like cloud computing, the applications that we provide, the application operations, and then the business operations that sit on top of that. We've defined that as the trade finance stack. So that is essentially the whole suite of technology, applications and people operations that you would need to run a trade finance business. So that means that you can address a lot of the challenges we've mentioned by having a stack in place that businesses can use. They don't have to build it themselves. We can build it for them, and we can take it all the way from underlying infrastructure and data centers right the way through to business process outsourcing from a trade services perspective.
And I think one of the key points in that, we mentioned of cloud, and it's really about a tool set. It's not about just data center and where it gets processed and what have you. It's really about a broad set of technologies that are available to make trade finance in the world of supply chain more agile, its ability to solve more problems with more insights and lower risk at lower processing costs, of course. So there's a lot. It's important to not just say, oh, cloud. It's one of the technologies. It's an underpinning platform for really the modernization and, of course, the digitization.
But then I think on toolset as well, we think about not just the products that we provide, say in Finastra or Microsoft. It's much more about the ecosystem. How can you bring those together to add value to our customers in the banks, but the banks' customers as well? And also what it allows is the stack allows you to bring other providers on quicker, normally than banks do via procurement and their onboarding process. Now, if I talk to various banks, they're like, well, the easiest we can do this is 9 months. And it might be longer and it might be 18 months, whereas we can have those relationships in place just now, right?
And as we know, Overledger solves this seamlessly. And we see another tweet from Instruction Trader ETH referring to ETFs, because obviously that is the buzzword right now. He just noticed that Quant is listed on the Hashdex smart contract platform index ETF. Hashdex manages just under $1 trillion of clients' funds. Wait till a lot of these realize that Quant is at the heart of the future of the monetary systems. I'm going to leave you with that banger, and please subscribe, please hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos. All the best, and I'll catch you later.